$90 a month. With the Senior Care Plan, your coverage can start immediately, unlike other policies that don't give you full coverage for 2 years. Call now for free information on the Senior Care Plan from Senior Life. By calling now, you lock in the lowest rate possible. You have no obligation. Call now.
You're watching KYES LD Anchorage.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
And happy Monday after Christmas. Hope you didn't spend too much money, and I hope you didn't spend too much money.
No, I certainly did not. Doing really well this year.
You didn't go broke trying to be giving, you know.
Right,
and so, But glad you guys are with us. Joe Bartosik, I'm glad you're with us as well.
Great to be with you as always, Dave.
Yep, meteorologist, going to get you up to date with the weather. It's really warm out there.
Yes, in comparison to where we were over Christmas when we were getting dropped down below zero.
For sure. Yeah. We got a great show for you. The Ukrainian choir visited us here in the studios, but I sent that video to a friend who sent it to some friends in Kyiv, Ukraine, and the reaction's amazing. So we'll show you that in the Allgood news.
Great, looking forward to that. And the best of some of the best. Some of the funniest moments from this past year as featured on Take a Look at This. Went viral, tickled our funny bone, and touched our hearts, of course.
Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. But back to the weather, kind of mild and wet.
It is, yes,
bit,
and wet and a little icy. You almost needed your ice skates a little bit this morning. Unfortunately, we didn't have a traditional Monday morning commute thanks to the Christmas holiday. Lots of businesses closed today.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. Here are 4 of your top headlines at 4. Many people in the lower 48 are facing deadly weather. Nearly 50 people have died after a massive storm hit. About half of those happened in New York. Many died in their cars stuck in snowbanks on the street. Officials say it's the worst storm to hit in about a half a century. Hundreds of motorists in the greater Buffalo area were stranded in their vehicles over the weekend. The National Guard troops were called in to help with rescues in the whiteout conditions. What a mess. Thousands of lower 48 travelers are having a hard time getting home after Christmas. By early this afternoon, more than 3,200 flights had been canceled due to weather conditions. Southwest Airlines called off 60% of its flights today. Some of the worst hit airports were Denver, Las Vegas, Chicago, Midway, Baltimore, and Dallas. Alaska State troopers in Fairbanks shot and killed a man on Friday. AST says troopers saw 20-year-old Patrick Alexander walking near Cherokee and Ravenwood Avenue with a concealed long gun. Alexander had several warrants out for his arrest. Officers told him to drop his gun, but he started to manipulate it, according to troopers. They then shot him. He was taken to a local hospital but died from his wounds. The Alaska Bureau of Investigation is looking into the shooting. Anchorage police have released the name of the woman who died last week on the Seward Highway near the Placer River. She says 61-year-old Janelle Norman died when she lost control on a curve and hit an oncoming truck. The crash shut down the highway for several hours just south of the Portage turnoff. 3 people in the pickup were hurt in the crash and brought to Anchorage, but were expected to live. And you may know a hit from the resurgence of the 80s hits, Never Gonna Give You Up, but it turns out Rick Astley is a fan of standards, the Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby songs featured in his holiday concert. There you go. You guys ever been Rickrolled? When you click on something and you get, Never Gonna Give You Up. It happens. All right, here's a look at what's coming up at 5 here on CBS 5.
Weather source.
Well, happy Monday, everybody. We made it through Christmas. Now, what does the weather hold? A little slippery and warm out there, Joe.
Yeah, usually when everything's snow chances, just as we round out the year. And Dave, by the way, we got like 0.4 of an inch in order to tie the record for the snowiest December set back in 1955. Will we do it?
Come on, we can do it.
It's nail biter right to the end. You know?
Yeah. And you know, the thing you said that I loved was that a minute of daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And adding on, those seconds and minutes will add up quick here.
All right, thanks a lot. Yep. Thanks, Joe. It's the news that might not make most headlines, but it's the kind of news we'd like to feature at 4. Jeremy Roth brings us the best and most viral. Take a look at this story. You don't want to miss this. It's up next. All right, hang on to your hats, Joe. We don't have any, but my toupee.
Or nets, right?
A flying fish falls on a boat, and Fiona the hippo gets some cute competition.
Plus some crazy food trends this
I got to go see that. All right, making the most of the holiday season. Despite living in a war zone, many in Ukraine mark the Christmas holiday a little.
We'll talk more about that in detail and the rest of this last week of 2022 coming up in a few more minutes, Dave.
All right. Thank you very much, Joe. We got a little reprieve in the weather, but there was no holiday reprieve for Christmas in Ukraine, although many Orthodox Ukrainians celebrate. Welcome back. And Joe, you know, there's nothing bonds us more than song or songs. We connect, we relate, and it sparks memories. And that's exactly what happened when the Ukrainian choir came to visit our studios. They sang right here.
And a chain of events led to the video of the choir being sent to Ukrainians in the war zone of Kyiv. And the video response was unexpected and, of course, emotional. Here's today's All Good News.
Last week here at Alaska's News Source Studios, we were treated to caroling by Ukrainians who are now living here in Alaska because of the war. They came to say thanks.
You've covered Ukraine and shared our story. Some of these people you've interviewed, and we've gotten a lot of support, and we've been very welcomed in Anchorage and Alaska.
And they sing a Christmas carol in English.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you...
So a lot of us in here were filming the wonderful event on our phones, and I even posted it to my Facebook. Then I got a call. So a friend of mine, Nancy Lawfome in Colorado, saw the video of the choir. She has a Ukrainian friend who wanted to send that video to a friend in the war zone of Kyiv. So I sent her the video, and 4 days later, this video of the friend Natalia and her granddaughter Sophia watching the Ukrainian choir singing for us here in America, all while they suffer the uncertainty of war. But what I saw and heard next was the reality of war and the toll it takes on proud people trying just to live their lives.
Ми з великим задоволенням подивились колядки і привітання. Дуже вам вдячні. Це було зворушливо, ми плакали. Ми бажаємо, щоб ви нас підтримали. Вам бажаємо в новому році здоров'я, мирного неба і не переживати той жах, який переживаємо ми. Спасибі вам велике.
Many thanks to your country for your help. We are strong and free people. My dad is at the front now.
You see, in that video, Natalia wished us health and peace, and Sophia thanked us as her dad is battling the invading Russians. It's amazing, really. Something as simple as music could ease that pain. And the faces in this choir, those smiles have seen a lot of rough miles.
Some of them came through very hot zones, and some of them were driving through Ukraine, driving into Poland under missiles, under attack.
There's something comforting with music, something so powerful that it makes a grandmother fearing for her life and that of her granddaughter wish total strangers health, safety, and peace. The Ukrainian choir. And a happy new year. That's the All Good News.
Incredible. Natalia and her granddaughter Sophia say they do their best to live as normally as possible, shopping, going to school, helping neighbors.
Yeah, it's amazing. They try to keep it normal, but trying to be normal when their city, Kyiv, has suffered Russian bombings as early as yesterday on Christmas, you might imagine is a testament to the strength and will of these Ukrainian people. Yeah.
They've got a lot of heart.
Oh, yeah, I was crying. When she started doing this, I started crying. I was like, anyway. But, all right, hey, here's what's coming up at 5 here on CBS. That might change his life, right? Just one moment. All right. He won't get left behind again. A dog abandoned at an airport finds his forever home in Frisco with a pilot. How about that? They were just for decorations, but now you can eat them. Christmas Day is over, and the candy canes on the tree are now fair game. It's National Candy Cane Day, but according to one source, references the candy cane started popping up in literature in 1866, a long time ago. They were first associated with Christmas as early as 1874. They started hanging on Christmas trees as early as 1882. National Candy Cane Day is celebrated every December 26th, and they'd be great in a cup of hot chocolate. Look at that, yummy, yummy. It took hours, but a horse is safe after breaking through the ice on a lake and a weird parking spot in Minneapolis. Plus, Joe, he'll have another look at our forecast. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. Joe, who steals a pigeon?
No idea.
A beloved stuffed animal makes its way home.
And Dave, a big Minnesota question. How did that car get there? Here. Wow.
A pigeon? Who would steal a pigeon, Joe?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Well, I mean, why? What's
I don't know. Hopefully it wasn't the message.
It could have. It was a homing pigeon. It was a homing pigeon.
Yeah.
It came home.
Unfortunately, she got it back. Yeah, that's great.